Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here today. Now today, first of all, we are celebrating a brand new year. So I'm doing the 2018 overview video for all of the signs. So happy new year to everybody watching. Know that I'm sending you all just positive energy, positive thoughts, lots of wishes for a wonderful year full of many wonderful things. For my returning viewers, thank you for sticking with me throughout the past year. I'm very happy to have you here. And for new viewers, I'm happy that you found me here. And hopefully, if you enjoy the readings, you'll decide to like and possibly subscribe as well. And that way you'll be notified when I upload new videos throughout the year. Okay, so the reading that I'm doing today, it's an overview, okay? So it's a month-by-month overview of the upcoming year of 2018. So for the main reading, I'll be choosing one card for each month from the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, okay? And then I divide the year into quarters, and then I pick one additional card from the Shadowscapes Tarot deck as sort of an overall energy for that quarter, for those 3 months. Then in the middle of the spread, you will see there will be an overall, one card for the overall energy for the year. And then I will also pick oracle cards. And I'm not exactly sure which ones I will be using, but more than likely I will be pulling from either the Akashic Tarot, the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, or the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. Okay, or maybe all 3 of them. We'll see how the readings go. For those of you who are interested in getting a personal reading, a lot of people do, they like to get a reading at the beginning of the year to kind of give them an overview of what will be going on in their particular, or in their life, right, based on their particular circumstances. If you are interested, you can just send me an email at changingphasestarot@gmail.com, or you could take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find information about the types of videos that I offer, the types of readings and pricing for the readings. Okay, so I will be getting into the reading now. I'll stop talking and see you all in 1 second for the shuffle. Bye for now. Hi, Gemini. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining me here today. Now, today's reading will be the yearly overview for 2018. When I lower the camera, you'll see that I already have everything laid out here. I'm just trying to really save some time. My readings seem to be running quite long for these 2018 overviews, so I've already meditated off camera and shuffled and have laid everything out. So hopefully we can just get straight into the reading here. I will say, as I've been mentioning to other signs, I've had a lot of major arcana cards coming out in the readings, as well as repeating cards. So you'll see that, let me actually lower this so you can see. I have the cards spread out here for the months of the year going around as like a circle, but I also have them divided up into quarters of the year. And then I have like a clarifier for each quarter. And you'll see that a lot of the clarifiers are kind of repeating cards for the cards that you have, as the monthly card. And what this tells me is that these are just, they're messages that you definitely need to hear. They're very important messages coming through from Spirit. So, when we get to those, I'll make sure to point them out to you. But I will also say, one, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. As it's an overview, it'll be interesting to, watch it now. And then as the year kind of progresses, go back and watch it again, right? See if some of the messages for the beginning months, see, how they tie in with what you have experienced through those 3 months. And also I'd say it would be good if you could to watch your rising sign video and your moon sign video. By watching your sun, moon, and rising videos, you really get a more complete overview of what's going on during that time period, and in this case, during the entire year. So, starting off with your energy at the center of the reading. So this is the 13th card, or the overall energy for the entire year. And you have the moon. This is Major Arcana number 18, the moon. And the clarifier on this card is Major Arcana number 11, Justice. And the Justice card is actually the first card that you have for the month of January here. So the month of January is also Justice. So beginning with the Moon card. The Moon card it speaks of dreams, of the subconscious. It speaks of our psychic abilities and our intuition. You see let me show you this again. On the Moon card, there's this beautiful, the beautiful moon goddess, and she stands with this veil, and you see this veil that's trailing behind her. That represents, that thinly veiled portal of the subconscious, and she calls or beckons for us to find our inner voice, right? Tune into our intuition. Phases of the moon might be quite significant throughout the year for you. Pay attention, right, to the full moons. Pay attention to setting your intentions at the new moons, but also your intuition. So I would say that it's a year where you might be asked to, trust in your intuition in order to deal with certain situations or events coming up throughout the year. And with the Justice card, as the clarifier on the moon, this might have something to do with, it can actually be, sort of the justice system, like the court system. So there might be something throughout the year that you're dealing with that has to do with legal proceedings. If there is, then, it's asking you to kind of go within, trust in your gut feeling, your intuition as you're dealing with whatever this is. And you can see here that she's holding the scales of justice. She has the sword of justice. So this is also a card of fairness, of balance, of harmony, of equilibrium. So that might also be an important message for you for the year, right? Having this balance, harmony in your life. It also speaks of weighing up all the sides, right? Or thinking about all of the sides of an issue before you actually make a decision. But it also has to do with karma, right? The Justice card is a very karmic card. There's that has to do with kind of the cause and effect, if somebody has wronged you in the past, kind of trusting in the power of the universe to right those wrongs. You don't have to do anything. This is all about you just being responsible for your own actions, and if somebody has treated you unfairly in the past, just, trust that there is divine timing for things to happen. So, there could be that. Justice sometimes appears as well when we're dealing with, maybe seeking advice or counsel from a lawyer, dealing with the courts. So there could be something to do with that, or this could just have to do with, having more balance and weighing up all of the options, looking at everything before making a significant decision, because this is a Major Arcana card here, or two of them at the center of your reading. So this tells me that, these are very strong, very important messages for you for the year. Now, you begin January with the Justice card. I just described, I gave you the meaning for that card, so I'll move on to the other two. So you have January, the Justice, right? February, Two of Cups, which is the minor arcana version of the soulmate card. And I swear this card has been coming out for so many different signs. And I mean, I shuffle and shuffle, and, I do all type of cleansing, on the cards before I begin the next sign. But this card keeps coming up. Actually, a lot of the same cards keep coming up. So similar messages here. And then the month of March, the Star card. Okay, another Major Arcana. This is number 17 in the Major Arcana. And then the clarifier on these three, we have the Four of Wands. Okay, so, with the Justice card can also be the Justice of the Peace, right? There's that as well. I don't think I mentioned that when I went over the meanings here in the middle, but it can be. It can have to do with the justice of the peace. So you could be, some of you watching the video, you could be thinking about getting married, especially with the Two of Cups card, which is the soulmate card. It's the, that very deep soulmate connection with another person. And then with the Star card in the month of March, which is a card of, your wishes being fulfilled. It's also a card of, harmony, but it's also a card of healing. It's having your wishes coming true. It's about, everything that you've sort of put out into the universe and asked for. It's happening for you at this time. And the Four of Wands is a card that speaks of marriage, of a happy home. Can be, sometimes it's, moving in together. Sometimes it's moving house. With, just based on the other cards here, this could, you could have wanted to have gotten married for quite a while. Maybe you've been with a person for a while. And for some of you, this is, during the first 3 months of the year, this is you moving ahead with that or moving in with that person. That's quite possible. For others, this could be, there could be some type of, if we don't look at it from a romantic or relationship point of view, this could be something to do with, a legal decision or some type of weighing up, sort of looking at your choices, weighing everything up, and then, moving ahead with something, having a positive result on whatever that decision or choice was. The Two of Cups can also be partnering up with another person. So this could be in a business, type of relationship. This could be you having a very strong connection and, partnering up with another person. And then, it's a very positive partnership, lots of great, results coming from that. And then with the Four of Wands, yes, it's known to be the happy home and sort of the marriage card and the home and family and that type of energy, but doesn't necessarily have to be, right? It can have to do with just, having reached a certain milestone. So if this is more in the work sector, this is achieving, reaching a certain milestone, achieving something within that you and the other person are trying to accomplish. But, in the relationship, it would typically signify a milestone in a relationship, such as getting engaged, moving in together, getting married. So with these cards, definitely a strong message coming through for some of you of that at the beginning of the year. As we move into April, May, and June, different energies going on here. So for April, we have the Five of Pentacles, followed by the Empress, Major Arcana, and the Queen of Pentacles. And the overall energy for these 3 months, we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so what this tells me is that, you might be feeling as you enter or during the month of April, you might be feeling that there's something lacking. Typically, we think of this card as it's a Pentacles card. Pentacles, the suit of Pentacles is coins, so it has to do with, our finances. Typically, this card appears when we are feeling, that there's something lacking financially in our lives. We're kind of left out in the cold, like you see the woman with the child here, being left out in the cold. It's worrying about not having enough. But it's really kind of those worries are not really warranted because, yes, it can sometimes represent, an actual lack of material prosperity, such as, losing a job or some type of, ill health or financial insecurity. But it can just have to do with, just feeling that way, feeling anxious about finances, but what you really need to focus on here is you see this, the woman and the child and this beautiful, loving relationship that they have. So, whatever the situation might be, if it does, if your financial situation is a little bit strained here, maybe this has to do with, buying a new home or moving into a new home. Maybe you ended up spending more than you should have on the wedding or moving into this house. So this might have left you feeling like this, but it's important to focus on what's at the center of the card, that even though there might be some material difficulties, spiritually, right, and emotionally, they are very wealthy. They have a lot of love. There is a lot of love there. And I think this is very short-lived, this feeling of lack, because of what comes in after, or feeling of anxiousness. I kind of get like an anxious energy off of this card. And what comes in after it is the Empress. So, the Empress card, yes, she can actually signify a pregnancy. Let me hold her up so you can see her. She is the big, Mother Earth. She's portrayed here as being pregnant. You can see that everything is very lush in her surroundings. The trees are laden with fruit. There's lots of wheat and everything growing behind her. So she represents abundance. She represents fertility. She represents pregnancy. Yes. So, for some of you out there, there might be news of a pregnancy. You might actually be getting pregnant, right? Or find out that you're pregnant here. So if this is not something that you want, I would say take precautions. If this is something you want, then this is, a wonderful time. And there's certainly the energy surrounding you that would kind of be favorable for this pregnancy, right? And it's, it's a wonderful card. It's a very it's a happy card. It's a card of kind of having everything that she needs. So whereas here, this is a card that shows lacking with the Five of Pentacles. The Empress is all about abundance and having more than enough. So that's why I say I feel that this Five of Pentacles energy is really more of, sort of anxious worry kind of energy. And it's really unfounded. You don't need to worry. It is going to be okay. And we see that with, the Queen of Pentacles coming in, who, no, she's not your sign, but you could be taking on the energy of this Queen of Pentacles. Or we know that when the court cards appear in a reading, they can be actual people that we are dealing with. They can be events or situations, or they could just be us taking on the qualities, the energies of that particular court card. So the Queen of Pentacles would be an older, usually a female earth sign individual, if this is a person. Again, it's a general reading, doesn't necessarily have to be a female, right? Not gender specific, could be male or female. But it would be, usually it would be an earth sign person, or somebody who has earth energy, somewhere in their chart. So it could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. And this is somebody who, again, she's, much like the Empress, she's kind of like that earth mother, she is very caring. She's a very loving person. She loves to take care of, especially children around her, which does make me think, that there might be something to do with having children. But she's also a very financially secure person, which is why I say that, I feel that this is really just anxious energy, because when the Queen of Pentacles comes in, she's very financially savvy. She's very practical. She's very resourceful and generous. She's very, even though she's practical, she's also, warm-hearted and open-hearted, but she has more than enough, much like the Empress. The Empress is, overflowing with abundance here. And the Queen of Pentacles, look how secure she looks. Look how calm and serene, and she's very, she looks very calm in her surroundings, and she has, look at all the beautiful crystals around her. She has more than she needs. She is very financially secure. So, I don't believe that you need to worry. If there was some type of, financial situation resulting from the first 3 months of the year, it's going to be short-lived, and you do have a lot of abundance coming in. And you also have the Six of Wands card, which is a card of victory. And this is fire energy, and it speaks of triumph, of victory. You see that the man, he's returning from battle. He has the laurel, the wreath of victory here. So whatever, goes on, you're feeling very victorious here, right? Things are going to definitely go in your favor, go in your way here. And again, I go back to the Justice card and the Justice card here. If there is some type of, legal proceedings that has you concerned as well, things are definitely going to go in your favor. So I feel as if you're it's bringing a little anxiety in, but you don't need to worry. Things will work out. As we move into the last 6 months of the year, we have for the month of July, the Hierophant. This is number 5 of the Major Arcana, followed by the Knight of Pentacles, and for the month of September, so July, August is the Knight of Pentacles, September, the Nine of Wands. And the overall energy for those 3 months, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so beginning with the Hierophant. The Hierophant typically represents, societal norms. We think of him as kind of like those large institutions or the, the things that society kind of puts in place that we tend to follow. So like large institutions, think of like the court system, think of the government, think of universities, schools, and also, churches, right? And religious institutions. The Hierophant is somebody who, yes, he does speak of religious tradition, right? But he's a conformist, right? So he's somebody who's very traditional. He upholds the religious standards and rituals and ceremonies. He is also a keeper of wisdom, right? Of the higher truths, and he has. Let's see here on his. I don't know if you can actually see it, but there are keys on here, right? And the keys, the cross keys, they symbolize unlocking the wisdom of higher truth. So this could be many different things. This could be you dealing with one of the large, institutions that I mentioned. This could be you seeking out counsel. This could be going to a counselor or possibly a spiritual leader to seek out some type of help here. The Hierophant also has to do with marriage, right? Go to the Hierophant to get married, possibly within the church. But this also could just be, you during this month kind of needing to be more like the Hierophant and, for whatever reason that you need to kind of go by the rules, right? Follow the rules, follow some type of tradition, some type of belief system in order to handle something going on, right, during that month. In the next month, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So again, more Pentacles energy. So, the tangible things that we manifest here in the material world. So our careers, the money that we make from doing the jobs that we do. And the Knights in the Tarot are typically the ones who act on something, right? The pages are the ones who bring in the messages. Or the news of something, and then the Knights actually act on it. But out of all of the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving. He's, kind of think of him like the slow and steady wins the race person. He plods along. He's very methodical. He's very stable, very trustworthy. He has his goal in sight, and nothing will deter him, right? Nothing will put him off of reaching his goal. It might take him a while, but, he will get there. So it's a slow-paced energy. So this, again, it could be a person. If it is, it's typically a middle-aged earth sign individual. So it could be, again, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, middle-aged man. Or this could just be you taking on this energy, plodding along. And I do feel that it's more you here because we get this slow-moving energy of this Knight of Pentacles, followed by, in the next month, in the month of September, the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, it's fire energy, but it's the card that shows that, it's 1 before the 10. The 10s in the tarot are all about endings, and after the after the 10 comes a new beginning of an ace, and that's what you have here, right? Is the overall energy for those 3 months. The clarifier is the Ace of Wands, and the 9 of Wands is usually about needing to go up against one last thing, or one last hurdle, one last obstacle or battle, before you get there. So it's kind of it's a card of being on the defensive, right? But it's also a card of being patient, of persevering. Kind of cautions us to, keep going, like keep plodding along with the Knight of Pentacles here. Keep moving towards, playing by the rules, moving towards your goal, but also do so carefully, right? Be cautious, so as you're not to be caught off guard, okay? And yes, she looks as if she's resting here, right? You can see that she's kind of resting, trying to plan, what she needs to do next, looking at everything around her. She is cautious, and she does have the Lion here, so she has somebody there looking out for her, but there's something about, reaching your goal, needing to, stay strong, stay focused on the goal, but possibly, there might be something that you come up against in the month of September that you might feel like, oh, one more thing that I have to get through. But the overall energy is a new beginning. It's the Ace of Wands, and this is fast-paced energy. It's this fire energy. This is a new beginning. It's sometimes the Ace of Wands can be a new beginning, like with a job, like a new job coming in. Sometimes the Ace of Wands can have to do with, it can be anything really, like a new creative project coming in as well. It really just depends, what's going on in your life. But aces are yes cards. They're very positive. If there's an answer that you're trying to find during the 3 months with the Ace of Wands, it will go in your favor. There is a yes here. But it's, it could be a new creative project. It could be a new adventure. It could be a new challenge, that you're facing here. But whatever it is, you have the yes, and yes, you'll get through it with this Ace of Wands card. Now, as we move into the last 3 months of the year, you have for October. Sorry, I'm kind of moving all the cards around here. Oh, that was on here. Okay. For October, we have the 9 of Pentacles. November, we have the 4 of Wands. And December, we have Major Arcana number 14, the Temperance card. This is another card that's been coming out a lot in these readings. And the overall energy for the last 3 months of the year, we have Major Arcana number 6, the Lovers. Okay, so we had, over here at the beginning of the year, we had the 2 of Cups, right, which is the Minor Arcana version of the Lovers. And then we have the Major Arcana Lovers as we end the year. So beginning with October, 9 of Pentacles this is an energy of feeling very financially secure, right? You have everything that you need, feeling very self-reliant. See the woman here on the card, let me show you her again. She's in this beautiful garden, and she's looking very regal and looking very happy and satisfied with what she has. There's this beautiful tiger next to her. There's this peacock, right? Very regal looking. And you can see that, there's nothing lacking here. So whereas you had this feeling of lacking over here in the month of April, this is you feeling very secure, financially stable, self-reliant, having everything that you could possibly need, which is wonderful. And then for the month of November with the 4 of Wands, excuse me, this is a card that you had here as the overall energy for the first 3 months of the year. So this is the happy home and family card. Again, this could have to do with a home move or moving in together or getting married. Definitely could, any of those messages could go along with this card. And with the Temperance card after it, there's something that has to do with balance, right? And balance was also here with the Justice card, right? We have the scales of justice is balance, and weighing everything up with the Justice. And then it appears again with the Temperance card. The Temperance is a little different. It speaks of, yes, it speaks of maintaining balance, practicing moderation, right? But it also has to do with divine timing, right? In waiting and waiting for the divine for the perfect time, which is divine timing. We know that time is malleable. It's a human construct, actually. And so things don't always happen in the time that we think they should happen. So there's something about possibly this, this Four of Wands with the Lovers at the end. There might be something to do with waiting or needing to wait for something to happen, or finding, the perfect balance. You see on this card, she's holding two chalices, right? One is a chalice of water, and the other is fire, and she's trying to combine the two, but she's doing so in just the right balance, right? Instead of the water just dousing the fire and putting it out, she's created this beautiful rainbow. So by practicing, this harmony and balance and waiting and being very patient here, she's able to achieve beautiful things. And with the Lovers card there, the Lovers is all about, again, it's a card that speaks of balance. It's a card that speaks of energy and flow and of joining heart and mind, right? Sometimes it has to do with a decision, a head over heart decision, or a choosing between head and heart, struggling with that choice, right? But it's also the soulmate card. It also has to do with those beautiful relationships. But there's definitely, the messages coming through of balance and partnerships, right? And possibly, not, there is this anxious energy here. I feel it with the, with this Nine of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. I would say you definitely don't need to worry about that, because the rest of the cards look wonderful. And whatever these little setbacks are, these hiccups, you have beautiful energy to move you through the year. And you're definitely going to need to, pay attention to your intuition as you do this. And also try to, find balance, however that might, play out in your own life. But balance is definitely at the center of your reading here. Now, let me go through the three cards that you have as the oracle cards for the reading. The first one is the Eight of Keys, and it's called the Master Artisan. And this card is from the Akashic Tarot deck. And for those of you who have watched my daily tarot snapshot readings during the month of December, you'll notice this card, right? And I have been using this deck quite a lot. Now, it's called the Akashic Tarot deck, but it actually isn't a normal or traditional tarot deck. It only has 62 cards, and there are a number of cards missing, and a lot of the cards have very different meanings. Now, the Suit of Keys would be similar to the Suit of Pentacles in the traditional tarot deck, and the Master Artisan, what the card speaks of is that you have now the opportunity to offer your talents, your purpose, and your gifts to the world, making a contribution to many. Don't be shy and don't hold back what you have to share. It's not the time to hide your light under a basket. As a matter of fact, you may now find yourself teaching or training your skill set to others. You may also be demonstrating your gifts and performing your talents publicly. Even if your gifts lie in the ability for loving, compassionate care, you will be sharing those gifts with others. In this period of time, you can build your reputation and take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. So take action, put yourself out there, and let yourself shine. There is much beauty and empowerment for you to bring to the world. And the Akashic Force message for this card says, close your eyes and feel yourself filled with all the gifts you have to share with the world. Sense those energies pour through your heart and mind and out to the people around you. Feel the ease of this sharing. You cannot be drained. For all that you give flows back to you unceasingly. To create return, do this sharing frequently. So there's this, give and take, this balance, right, that goes along with this as well. I think that message ties in nicely with, a lot of the messages that you have here for the reading. The other two cards, I will again read you the entire message from the Oracle guidance book, because I like to give the full meaning for the cards. First one that you have, this is from the Life Purpose deck. It's called Spiritual Teacher. I think this card's beautiful. And it says, you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. And read from the book for this one. It says, you are a healer who reaches your audience with words. You teach in a way that brings healing blessings to your clients, readers, and listeners. You even do so with your family and friends. In fact, people seek you out for guidance, including strangers who tell you their intimate secrets and pressing problems. Your trustworthy nature and shining inner light signal to others that you're a natural-born spiritual teacher. This card indicates that you wish to be a spiritual teacher for the joy of it, without ego concerns about fame or fortune. You're a natural channeler who brings divine guidance to others who ask you questions about their lives. You're also acutely observant about human nature, especially as it relates to the spiritual path. As a result, you bring a unique voice to the field of spiritual teaching. As long as you remain focused on service and bring your natural self, you will find a wide and receptive audience for your work. Take a moment now and ask your guardian angels, what is the next step for me to take upon my pathway as a spiritual teacher? Notice the thoughts, feelings, and signs that come to you as answers, and continue asking the angels for additional clarification. And the last card that you got is Mystic Healer. I love this. It says healing energy flows through you. And look at the card that you got at the center of your reading. Okay, so this is definitely a very significant message for you for this year of 2018. Okay, you have the intuition, using your intuition. Mystic Healer makes me think of the High Priestess card, right, in the tarot, but definitely, tied to the moon as well. So let me read you what it says for the Mystic Healer card. It says, inner and outer healing on all levels is occurring in your life. A situation, relationship, or physical challenge is being resolved. Have faith that it's happening. This is the time to find the source of challenges, transform inner grievances. Do it now. You no longer need to carry it with you. You are a healing force for others, even if you're not aware of it. The sacred traveler wants you to know. There are times when the traveler steps off the path to search for the mystic healer. The healer instructs that everything in nature has the intrinsic ability to restore itself, and reminds you that you also have this powerful ability within you. For healing to occur on the outside, it is essential for healing to occur on the inner planes. To do this, meditate by visualizing a beautiful, vital future for yourself, and trust that recovery is on the way. Past life issues may be emerging in order to be released. Mystic healers are working with you to resolve emotional and physical challenges. Be patient and have faith that beneath the surface, all is well. So I think that these three, especially the last two cards that came out, really go well with, the other messages from your reading here. So I do hope that these messages have helped you in some way, Gemini. I thank you for joining me for this 2018 overview. I look forward to reading for you all throughout the upcoming year. And I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful and successful and loving and caring and wonderful, I think I've said wonderful a couple of times, sorry, 2018. Take care. Bye-bye.